way to see where your money is going. So today's special guest is so special. He is the founder of the web app called getgreenbook.com, which is a money tracking platform that is honestly one of the most intuitively designed products that I've come across. So this
Thank you.
episode is not going to be about spreadsheets. It's not going to be about shame around money. It's literally going to be learning how to actually see your money without the judgment and actually have power with your money. So I want to welcome our guest, Stefan, and I want
Hello,
you to
hello,
talk about
hello.
yourself a little bit. Let us know about you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Stefan. A little bit about Stefan. I just celebrated a birthday on Juneteenth. I'm 31, and you can see by the gray hairs and
Happy
stuff up
belated
there.
birthday.
Thank you. Um, you know, I'm married, about to have our first child, our daughter, Isabella, Jania Angel Cooper Miller. I'm so
Oh my
excited.
gosh.
Um,
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. So, originally from Baltimore, Maryland. I'm about to move back to Baltimore in a few months.
Mhm.
Um, and follower of Christ, like, I go hard for Jesus. Um, and I'm one of those like nerds that don't look like a nerd, right? And I'm like so like I overthink and you know, and it's gonna kind of lead into why I built Green Book. It's just my overthinking and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm a very down to earth person, cool, fun, compassionate, stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
Yes, no, we met in the backstage and his gears were just turning the entire time. I told him this is going to be such a fun episode.
Yeah.
So let's start from the beginning. How did Green Book come to be? What kind of sparked that idea for you to even want to start this web app?
Yeah, so like I said, the overthinking is going to play a part, right? I was using a budget app before, and like it was you had to pay to connect your account, right? Which is normal. That's normal, but I don't like paying for stuff, right? I really don't. I like doing stuff myself. And the budgeting app really just was like a spreadsheet, right? Simply it wasn't a spreadsheet, but just kept track of like, okay, I should spend this for that category or so forth. And a lot of times when we was budgeting, it's just me budgeting, and I know off the top of my head what we are supposed to spend for the month. And anyway, long story short, we figured out we was pregnant. And in that first month, after finding out we was pregnant, we went over budget one time. And I was like, no. Right. And that's when the overthinking plays a part. It's like, okay, it can't happen ever again. Because we're about to have a child. We gotta provide, this and that. So I was like, well, I'm gonna build a budget app for myself, right? One, so I can have the ability to connect my account through Play and stuff like that. I'm gonna build it where like I know that I would use it and I'm happy with it and I can like get value from it. So yeah, it started me asking a couple of people. So it actually started me to say I'm gonna build it, asking a couple of people, hey, will y'all also be interested? Because I'm always kind of thinking of like how I can create a business. And yeah, and then I built Green Book in I think a month and a half after that. So yeah.
Which is so interesting. It's only been a month and a half. This is
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, that's the power of which some people might not know what it is, but no code. This how quick you can build stuff. So, uh, I believe it's been a month. I don't know. It's been listen, yes, it's been like a month and a half since I built it, maybe 2 months. I don't know, but super easy. It's out there. I'm having fun, and it's
No, I
helpful.
love this because you actually came from you weren't building it just to build it. You're building it because you're like, one time is enough. I'm not doing
Exactly.
that. We have things to
Yeah.
do. We have things to get done. And
Right.
it's so funny because if you do it one time, who's to say it won't happen again unless you
Right.
intentionally like try not to.
Uh-huh.
So I love that you were intentional about that and you put it out. Not you didn't just create it for yourself. You're like, oh, other people can really benefit from this. So that's
Yeah.
perfect because most of the people who are gonna get Green Book are not like finance background people. They're just real people
Yeah.
with budgets, real expenses, and they want an experience that makes sense. And you literally had the experience, which aligns with what they're probably going to have as well. So that's perfect. And one of the things I love about the app is that it's not just, like you said, it's not just like a spreadsheet with things and, just, hey, this is what you have. Like, it's not like that. It's literally tracking your expenses and being able to see those patterns. So, how does Green Book create this empowering space for people to know how to budget instead of the apps like you were using before.
Yeah. So I would say for this is real good for anybody who's like me that's just busy. Like I'm once again I'm 31. I'm 31 year old. Have a wife, about to have a kid. You know, I got things to do, right? So, uh, being able to just see how I'm doing for the month is like a game changer for me, right? I can hop in,
No.
see how I'm doing,
Yeah.
hop out, finish doing the stuff. So, the way Greenbook empowers the users to do that is that what I call it the overview, but I think I'm gonna call it the snapshot. I don't know, but it just shows you how you're doing for the month, right? It once you connect your account to Plaid, your transactions, everything get puts into a snapshot. So
Yeah.
you can see if you're overspending. And like for me, like, and this is me being honest, like my wife and I are technically overspending like $68 so far. But that's because we use credit cards for points and stuff like that. We pay it off. So
Yeah.
that in itself is a whole different topic, right? I feel like one, I got to be careful of like not going so deep into like. Let me say this real quick. Long story short, I'm most likely going to be partnering up with a nonprofit that's down here in Tulsa, and they want me to teach a class. And I was talking to a friend, and he was like, hey, when you do this, talk about pretty much budgeting 101. Like,
Mm,
don't talk about investing and stuff like that. Cause my wife and I like have mutual funds and stuff like that.
yeah.
But he was like, you gotta get people to their first win, like not try to get people
All the
way far
way
out.
level
Right, way
20.
far out.
Yeah.
Um, so anyway, sorry, I'm a talker. I don't know why I even brought that up. Long story short, it gives you a snapshot to know how you're doing for the month, which is probably like the most easiest way to like stay on track on your budget, just to see, hey, okay, I'm overspending. Let me calm down.
Yeah. No, literally. And to me, when I use it, it feels like a money journal. It's like, hey,
Yeah,
this is your, and I love the word snapshot in comparison to the overview because it's literally
yeah,
like, hey, you can see where you are, like in real life right now, like as you're living, this is where you are currently, and I love
yeah,
that. And it's just a healing experience to be able to see everything, and you don't have to put it in yourself. Plaid does all the work, and it all
yeah,
tracks for you. So I'd love to break down the app, just kind of like the back end of it, for someone that is listening when they get Green Book. What happens when they click the link that's in the bio? So kind of just
mm,
a sign up flow, like what happens when they're syncing their account, and we can talk about this for a little minute, and kind of how they're able to track their expenses, some of the features that are in there.
yeah, yeah. So when a user first click the link down bottom, when you click that link, you'll get brought to the landing page. You just hit sign up, right? Easiest step. First step, sign up. The second step would just it would bring you through the onboarding flow. This is just stuff. So let me say this. It would it would uh it would not be good for me to build an app without knowing who you are, right?
Mm,
So it's an onboarding flow that lets me know where you are, like pretty much how can I serve you better, right? So it'll ask you a couple questions, stuff like that, and then of course you'll pick your plan. You get 30 days free trial. Let me say this. Let me plug this in. You get 30 days free trial if you sign up with her link below. If it does give you 30-day free trial, just send me a message and I'll make sure you have 30 days free just to try it out. But once you in, you'll get walked through on how to use the app, just
yeah.
where things are at like that. By the time you're in though, and you went through the onboarding flow, it already has your income, right? Because you got to put in how much you make, stuff like that, and that's just so it can better help you make things quicker. From there, you just connect your account to Plaid, right? When you connect your account to Plaid, it pulls in the last 90 days of transactions,
Which is
and
amazing. Like, wow.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one thing I like about that is, um, for instance, the month just started, right? So
Yeah.
you're not going to have any transactions, but maybe like five. What you can do is go back to June and go back to what's March, May. I'm too far back. Anyway, you go back to May and June. You can create a budget. So it's going to tell you. So when you click it, it's going to say you don't have a budget for that month. Create a budget and just take a look of your snapshot for those last 2 months, right? Because then it would show you if you're overspending
Mm.
for those last 2 months. So it kind of gives you like, okay, July just started. Let me not do that, right?
Right.
So anyway, once you connect your account, I will say a disclaimer. If you're someone like me who do a lot of transfers from one account to another account, it will count those transactions as duplicate transactions. However, the solution simply is to click on that transaction and hit not include, right? You don't include it, it won't track it in your snapshot. Um, but other than that, you just categorize your transaction one time for that month. If it is similar transaction that comes through that month, it knows where to, where to put it at, which make it such an easy experience.
Yeah.
Um, because it's my wife and I tried to stick to a budget where we had to categorize our transactions each week. Okay, we're gonna do each day. Gonna stick to a day. Okay, we're gonna do it at the end of the week. Way too many transactions to categorize at the end of the week. So
Yeah.
being able just to do it once, you do I bite the bullet, do it once, and for that 1 month, it'll know where to place your transaction. So
Yeah. It's basically a one time
yeah,
input and then everything else just categorizes from there, which I love. Like even if you use a different account or you have more than one account or you add another credit card or add
yeah.
another bank account or whatever, it all just loads to whoever's account it is, essentially.
Right, yeah. So essentially, let me say this. When you connect your account, your different bank accounts, the transactions come through. The transaction has certain like the merchant name might be the same each month for let's say Starbucks. Maybe Starbucks is part of your budget for lunchtime. You take that transaction and say, okay, this belongs to the lunchtime budget or that budget line. So next 2 weeks it pops back up again. It's going to automatically bring it into lunchtime. Um, Now y'all be nice to me, aka actually don't be nice. Tell me if there's something wrong. This is Let me say this. This is an app built by someone who cares. Like I care about helping people.
Yeah.
So if there's something that does not make sense, if there's something that does not work, let me know. Right? I'll fix it. I'll change it. That feature in itself, I just built. So there might be bugs. If there's bugs, let me know. Like, hey, Stefan, there's a bug. Do better. I'll be okay. You're right. You're right. I'm sorry. Calm down. So anyway, but yeah, so it's pretty fun. I'm just saying, just pretty fun to build it. Pretty amazing just to even have it, just to do that.
Honestly, yeah, and when I logged in for the first time, I was like, "Oh, wait, there's like everything here and it's all organized. What is this?"
Yeah.
I've never even seen that before because most apps don't do that. Most of these things are just spreadsheets that just have they slap a name on it. But you can really tell that you actually created it for a purpose, like for real people that have real problems and like real budgets. So that was amazing because it's actually useful. As a person that's obsessed with money and that looks at money all day long, I love the app because it makes my job easier for my obsession. So I wanted to ask you some questions about uh yourself and about your relationship with money. So what was your relationship with money like before you built greenbook.com?
Yeah, let me go back and say before I start budgeting, it's just in
Mm,
general, right?
yeah.
Anyway,
The
um,
pause.
yeah, I guess it just
Felt that.
it's so much it's so much I can say, but uh, it'd be a long story. Um, so my wife and I had a moment where I wasn't working right, and that's a whole different story. Whole different story. And we was only making like $300 a week. Still had to pay
Mm,
for apartments like that. By the glory of the Lord, we was able to pay our rents like that. But because we was only making a little bit, like my relationship when it comes to budgeting or money or just budgeting, I didn't want to budget that little bit of money, right? Because I thought to
yeah.
myself, well, there's no point. This is only $300. Like we're not saving anything. $300 going out every week.
All of it.
Um, yeah,
100%.
so it's like
Yeah.
so why budget it, right? And this is advice to married men for sure. Listen to your wife, right?
Mm,
The Lord has made your wife to be like what you need, right? And
mm,
as a man, you cannot like we have so many flaws that we don't recognize that as a that a woman kind of it's he's made for those flaws, and we're made for her flaws like that. Anyway, long story short, my wife was like wanted to do it, and I was so adamant, like there's no point, this and that. And then I finally okay, let's just budget this $300, right? And even though
You're
we
like,
knew
I'll
we were
listen
going
to
out,
you, I guess. I'll like try to budget this 300.
right? So we budgeted, and I will say, once we budgeted, the stress went away.
Mm,
Even though we didn't have nothing, the stress went away to just start budgeting. So, like before budgeting, I was stressed. I
mm.
was like, I'm gonna get to this money. Like, it was so stressful. But just knowing, like, even if it's just a little bit, just knowing where the money is going, relieved us of the stress, right? And
Mm.
allow us to see what we have to do.
That's a
Um,
word. Oh my gosh.
yeah, like it's
Wow.
just so. Anyway, yes, that's my relationship before budgeting. Like even before that, though, I always been, I guess, a lack of better word, money getter, just ambitious like that, business minded. But like shame on you if you're business minded and you don't budget, right? Like it's just shame on you, right? Because I had a business before that, like I was doing e-commerce, blah blah blah. I was spending like $400 a month, sorry, $400 a day on ads, and it was paying for
Mm.
itself.
Yeah.
And it was paying for itself, but I wasn't making no money because I wasn't budgeting. I didn't know where my money was going at in the business. So it's like, anyway,
As long
that's
as we're
it.
not going, yeah, it honestly, a lot of businesses break even and they don't even know that. Hey,
Right.
budgeting will
So
actually kind of solve the problem that's there.
yeah,
And then also taking all that math and putting it outside and like looking at it on a screen or in Green Book is so
yeah,
helpful because this is for thinking
yeah,
and not for like actual mathematics and stuff. Like, yeah, just let the code and the zeros and the ones do all the hard work. That's what I think.
yeah.
So the next question is, where or when were you when you first started building it? So like in your mind, I guess this still is based on the last question, but in your mind, what were you thinking right before you built it? Like what was
Oh
that?
yeah. I mean, and I probably answered this already, but what I was thinking to myself is that I don't want my at the time I didn't know I had a daughter. I don't want my child to want for anything, right? Like I said, we just went over budget, and we only went over budget probably like $100. I don't know, right?
Yeah,
100 like $1 too much, like a dollar
literally.
over. No. So I was like, I don't want to like have that problem when we move. It's
Yeah.
us going over budget and going in debt and then can't provide for our kids. Pretty much, it's obviously it's just childhood trauma, right? Just when you grow up, uh, uh, one of the kids out of four of a single mother, right?
Yeah.
Just like I don't want my child to not have things, right?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's the
I love
mindset I
that
was in. I
because
was like, I'm
some
gonna
of
deal with
our
this.
experiences are there to tell us, hey, we don't want to do that. So it gives us time to
Yeah,
figure out how to not
yeah,
repeat that. So that's amazing because, and it also shows how much you care because you're not building it just for you. You're like, hey, I have like children. I have to make sure
right,
that they're good. And when she gets older, you want to make sure that she's fully set. So that's amazing. And I wanted to ask if you could describe Green Book in non-financial terms, what would
yeah,
you tell someone that it does? Like what, hey, this is
yeah.
getgreenbook.com. What does it do, but in non-financial terms?
Got so I like this question. I'm gonna nerd out for real quick, right? So I like playing role playing games, RPGs online, stuff like that. And it's this one game called Dragon's Dogma, right? And in Dragon's Dogma, you create a companion, right? And this companion listens to everything you do. It helps you fight. It will heal you. It will it will lift you up to throw you on top of a higher point. Like so, that's what Green Book is, right? It's a companion that's literally there to help you to do whatever you need it to do, and to make sure you're safe and you're good and you're alive. Um, that's how I see it, right? And that's probably how I built it. Like I wanted to be in my pocket, my companion. I can look at it. It can tell me like, hey, stop. This is a trap. Stop spending like this. Oh, you're doing good. So um, yeah, I would say it's a game. It's a companion.
Yeah.
Um, sort. Yeah.
Which is so cool. You can turn the whole thing into a game. You're like, I'm just gonna go
Yeah.
check my Green Book account and see what the numbers say because the numbers do not lie. They don't,
Right. They
and they show
don't.
you exactly what your patterns are. So that's
Yeah.
amazing. And then I wanted to ask, what do you think so many people avoid when they are looking at their money? Like, well, honestly, why do they avoid it? Why do people avoid looking at their accounts or their statements?
Yeah. Um, I will say, like, people avoid it because, let me say this. I think at some point they know where they're at, and then they then decide to avoid it, right?
Mm. Oh my
It's
god.
like, and I'm gonna say the word wrong. It's an ostrich, little birds, the little long neck birds that be sticking their
Ostrich?
head. Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
they dig in the dirt
yeah,
or whatever?
yeah, and they put their head in the dirt, right? So people do that. They know that it's danger around. They know that it's overspending. They
Mm.
know they have um the repo man outside the door, and they just stick their head in the sand, right?
Oh
And they
my
just act
gosh.
like they're not spending,
Yeah.
right? They just act
Act
like
like
they
it's
don't have any
not there.
transaction. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and they just spend away, right? And it's terrible. You have a credit card because then you just spend away with that,
Oh,
and,
and then it's
and
not even
and
your
you think it's free
money.
money. You're like, oh, this
It's
is free
not.
money. I'm about to get a bag.
Oh
No,
my
it's not free
gosh.
money.
Like,
Like
it's
they're gonna get
not,
you.
and it's
It's
interest on
no.
top. So don't play
Right, it's
that type of
interest.
game.
It's free money for the bank. They getting free money. You are literally shackling yourself to what scripture says. It says that no, the borrower becomes a slave to the lender. That
Mm.
is what you're doing. You're literally shackling yourself to the lender. Anyway, I don't know what the question was, but
No,
uh
awesome. That leads into the follow-up question, like, how does Green Book unshackle you from the lender? Like, how does it make it
yeah,
easier to get that process going?
yeah. So I would say this, right? one of my one of my mentality is that you should be investing, right?
Mm.
But you can't invest unless you save. But you can't save unless you budget, right? So when it comes to that, like when it comes to being free from lenders, one, you have to start budgeting, right?
Yep.
The reason why you start budgeting so you can save, right? And then a little caveat before investing, the reason you start saving so you can start paying off your debts,
Mm.
right? But you cannot pay off your debts if you don't know where your money's at. You don't know how much money you have left over. You
Yeah.
don't know if like if you don't know, like scripture says, the person without a plan perish, right? Those without a plan perish. So if you don't know what's going on in your life, like you're literally not in control of your life, and that's sad. Like
Someone's in
and
control, but
yes, yes, someone's in control, but you're
somebody
not in
is,
control,
not
right?
you. Yeah, and
And
considering it's your life, you should probably be in control. Yeah.
right. And I just want to say, like, those who's hearing that and might feel sadness about hearing that, or maybe feel like attacked, we're not. It's not an attack, right?
Yeah.
This is just literally just to say, hey, you can have control, right?
Yeah.
Like my wife and this is all glory to God, but my wife and I had um how much we had in debt? Jeez. I think it might have been 7 grand in debt on one card, 10 grand in debt in another card, and
Mm.
by the grace of the Lord, we was able to pay it off in I think 2 years, right? Um, so let me say this: I've been there, right? I wasn't paying the bill. I'm gonna lie, I wasn't paying that mother. I was paying the minimum payments at first, but we've been there. Like when you have those things going on, you have to adjust your life to the lender. That
Yeah.
sucks, right?
Oh my
That sucks.
gosh. That is such, oh my gosh. Your life becomes the lender's activity. Like your
Yeah,
everything you do, everything you spend, everything you do for money all becomes based on, hey,
yeah,
what does this lender need on the first? What does this
right.
lender
Yeah,
need by my statement date? And it's really trapping. And that's why I love Green Book, because it releases you from, like we just said, it releases you from those emotional shackles, because it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to do that. And you have two people here that might be triggering you a little bit, but it's because we both have been there. We literally are
yeah,
telling you your story because we're there. We know how it is. So this actually leads perfect into, like, what role does emotion play when we spend?
yeah. So I was reading a book. Which book was it again? I forgot what book it was. I was reading a book. Dang, I really wish I knew which one it was. Um, I was reading a book and it talks about how no one buys with logic, right? We buy with emotion, and then after that, we use logic to justify the purchase, right? And what's funny is I like to think to myself, "Well, I'm a logical buyer." I'm not. No one buys with
Nobody.
no one buys the logic. Like we in our mind we think it's logic, but it's really emotional.
Yes.
Um, and uh, I think how emotion plays on it. On one side, emotion gets you to buy stuff that you can't pay for, because it's nice, because it's shiny, because Joe down the street has it, um, because you was pressured, because you want to have a good time out with your friends, because you want to go on that cruise.
That's
Emotion makes
FOMO.
you, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Emotion makes you do that stuff, right? And on the other hand, emotion also makes you like not to look at what's going on in your life. When it comes to that, it's like that, it makes you scared to look at how bad you are actually doing, right?
Yeah.
Like for instance, if you know you got $1,000 debt, you might be scared to look at it because you pay interest over the last 10 years and it might be more than 1,000, right? It
Yeah.
is, but hey, it's like, you know, I just one, I really want people to, and I don't want to say get over their emotions because emotions are real. Like, and the Lord made us to have emotions. I want people to, um, uh, Ecclesiastes says there's a time to mourn, there's a time to be happy, stuff like that. There's a time for it, right? I think at some point you got to get out of time. You have to have that time of being scared or being emotional about money has to end at some point,
Yeah.
right? It has to end at some point, and you have to one stop buying based on emotions, right? And stop not looking at your purchases based on
Yeah.
emotions. Yeah,
Especially those together. Like if you buy with emotion and then you also don't look at all the stuff you're buying,
yeah.
like and you just delete the credit card app and you're not even trying to look at it or
Oh.
whatever. Like, whew, that
Delete the
is
credit card app is crazy. Oh well, if I close my eyes, it's not there. No.
it's definitely there and Bank of America is coming for you.
Right.
So it's just so important that you guys understand budgeting doesn't have to be this like weird thing. Like
Yeah.
everybody needs to have it. Even when you are financially stable, it's there to keep
Yeah.
you financially stable.
Yeah.
It's there to keep you above water. That's what it's there for. So I hope that this episode is helping to reframe how you're looking at your money and hopefully get you to start looking at your money if you haven't already and getting you to
Yeah.
feel safe doing that. So how do you personally use the platform in your everyday life with you and your family?
Yeah. So for me, I want so it's the beginning of the month, right? And I'm planning to do my normal routine today.
Yes.
I'm going to the app and I'll just because it's okay. The way I set up the feature where it automatically puts the transaction into your category, um, it doesn't work month to month, right? Each month you have to at least take a look at what you're doing, right? And I think I like it like that actually, right? I could make it where it's hands off for every month, but I feel like people won't learn from that. So anyway, long story short, um, what it looks like is just me categorizing my transactions at least at one time for the month of July, and making sure that the income is right, right? Making sure that my wife and I don't need to update any budget items, which we already did last week, and I just simply just take a look because normally for me, and you probably do this, I look at my bank account like every day, like something changes every day. Like, okay, it changes like once a week, but I look at it every day because I just want to know what's going on. But I can do that with Green Book, right? I can literally see how much my accounts have in it. Um, and then I can see how much I'm spending for the month, right?
Yep.
That's how I know coming into here, like we're around like 60 something dollars over budget, which I mentioned before. Because I looked at it. So I know
Yeah.
like, okay, like, but I know why that's the case because we use credit cards and we just pay it off like that. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah. So I hope that answered the question. Dang,
No, it does. It gives you the ability to know exactly what's going on because it tells you what's going on. It's like, hey,
yeah,
you're exactly 68 over. Make sure
yeah,
you know why that is. And either it's going to tell you why it is, or because of the way that you're using your credit cards and paying it off and getting the points and such, which is also amazing because everybody likes points, and the points
yeah.
sometimes can like pay the statement down. But um I wanted to see how you felt about control with money. So,
Yeah.
emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, we'll start with the emotional and then get into the other two. Like, what is being financially in control mean to you emotionally? And then we'll do the other two.
I I would say being financially in control emotion for me. What that means for me is it means freedom one, right? Because I can
Mm,
like let me say this. I'm already a stressor. Like I stress myself because I overthink one.
mm,
So this kind of takes that off my plate to know like okay, I have a
yeah,
plan. So emotionally I kind of like okay, like I feel in control emotionally because I can see what's going on,
yeah,
right? If I can see what's going on, I can then calm my mind down to know, like, okay, relax.
yeah.
It's $60 over budget. I know why, right?
Yep.
It's bound to be, you know, I can I can calm down. So it kind of just help just relieve yourself of that stress when it comes to
Yeah,
finances.
just makes you feel safe to
Yeah.
keep looking at it first of all, but also to know where you are currently standing because you're taking your head out of the dirt and you're like looking at what's going
Yeah.
on. And you're like, oh, it's not that bad. Nothing's on fire. Nothing's going wrong. And
Right.
it makes you feel safe to continue doing that. So then mentally, like I guess that would be kind of along the same lines. If there's anything different you wanted to say about like how it makes you
Um
feel mentally.
mentally, I like I think one, it just allows me to have the mental freedom to do the other stuff, right?
Wow.
Once again, I'm an overthinker. So if I'm worried about something mentally,
Mm,
like I can't, I guess, worry about the next thing.
yeah.
Which I need to stop doing that. I can't start thinking about the next thing, right? Like, if I was worried about my money, I couldn't build Green Book, right?
Yep.
I couldn't. Let me say this:
Um,
because I worried about money, I was able to build it, but I still had some type of plan in place.
yeah.
So allow my mental to kind of be relaxed and like just in general, like it just once again it just allow you the mental capacity or freedom to do other things when
Yeah.
your companion green book is tracking your stuff for you. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And you know it's in your pocket. You can just check it whenever you
right,
want to. Like it's
right.
amazing. And then spiritually, how does being financially in control like affect that? And what does it mean to you like spiritually?
So what it means to me spiritually be in control. Let me say this. Scripture says that um a man that does not take care of his family is worse than an unbeliever,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
So I think spiritually, it lets me know that I am doing what I ought to do as a husband, right? Um, and it just it let me know that I'm pleasing the Lord, right, by actually providing for my family. And the way I'm providing for well, let me say this: I'm taking care of my family. The way I take care of my family is, you know, having a plan for our finances, right?
Oh,
To me, that's all spiritual, right? I can't be a good husband without the Lord, right? So it's all spiritual for me.
absolutely.
Um, so yeah, it just allows me to be to me, and I might be wrong, but to me, just be a good husband, right? Just be, So anyway, yeah,
No, this is not just a web app. This is like life fixer,
yeah,
improver. Like this is so beneficial for all parts of your life. It's not just, oh, now I know where my transactions are. It literally is helping you to develop into that person, or in your case, you're the husband that you want to be and
yeah,
that you strive to be. And it allows you to have that plan for that. So for other people who have some sort of image that they know they want to strive towards being the best version of themselves, this app can help you do it's not just
yeah,
budgeting and tracking. It's like you're the highest version of whoever you want to become and
yeah,
develop in that way spiritually, mentally, emotionally, all of that through a web app that was like meant for budgeting. Like it's so cool that
Yeah.
it affects every part of your life. And I love what you said earlier about, you have to invest, but there's a step before that. You have to start saving, and there's a step before that, which is the budgeting.
Yeah.
It all starts from there. So if you want to become an investor, you might want to take a few steps backwards and go
Mm.
and really dig deep into what it means to start budgeting and tracking your finances. And Greenbook is the easiest way to do that. And what is three small wins that someone might notice when they start to track with the Greenbook?
Yeah. Um, I think the very first win is the fact that you're tracking, that you started. That's
Literally.
that's a win. Like if you don't budget at
Yeah.
all and you start doing it, that is a win, right? And congrats to that. Like congrats. Like, depends on like what background you're from. And I'll be more specific to myself, to you and I, just from the Black community. Most of us don't budget, right?
Yeah.
It's a small percentage, and just starting, that's a win, right?
Yeah.
The second one is uh just the ease of use, right? To me, that's a win, because then I can continue to do the stuff I do in my life now,
Yeah.
and I know I can have this plan, but not interrupt my life. Like I don't have to go 4 years in college just to know how to budget.
Yeah.
you know,
Literally.
I can just hop on Greenbook, connect my account. I'm budgeting, right? Hop on Greenbook, connect my account, make my little budget line items, and I'm budgeting, right? Um, I'll say the third win would just be consistency, right? And what I mean by that is because it's tracking for you, it's much easier to be consistent, right?
Wow.
Um,
That's so
because
true. Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah, it's much easier to be consistent because I know that. Let me say this: if I could, which I'm sure I might be able to do this in the future. If I could make it where my transactions come in and it just without me having to categorize it one time, it can just do it off the rip. Uh, like that would be the best, right? Because I don't like categorized transactions just in general, but I'm willing to do it not because it's my app, right? Like I literally made an app and like to a point where I know I would use it, right? But anyway, I'm okay with making sure my transactions that come in this month are categorized one time because I know that it's going to be categorized the next time it comes this month, right?
Yeah.
So my income, like it comes from one place. It's going to have the same name on it. If I categorize it, it goes directly to my income section, right?
Yep.
So it helps me be consistent, right? And when I mean, and once again, what I mean by that is that I can do it one time, but consistently it's going to get updated for me. So I
Yeah.
can continue to look at it, and then I can like that's just pretty much that companion that's telling me like, hey, don't go that route.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hey, don't go that route. Thank you. Like it's going to consistently tell me exactly where I'm at. So that's just a blessing in itself because I really like for me, like once again, I'm a user. I really like the ease of use.
Yeah.
Like that was because I would not be doing it if it wasn't easy. So yeah.
No, honestly, it makes it, first of all, it's already easy. When you sign up,
Yeah.
it is easy to use. But every time you go back to use it, it's like easier than it was when you
Yeah.
signed up because you had
Yeah.
the sign up was the hard part, and like putting your information is the hard part, which is not hard to begin with, but then you don't have to do that again. And then you start categorizing things and you don't have to do that again. So now we're just clicking on the web app and looking at our numbers that are
Right.
already there for us. It's almost like, why wasn't I doing that 5 years ago? Like, that's
Yeah.
just so easy. So I just love what it can do. Like, it can transform you from going to not understanding your finances and having your head in the dirt to literally just, oh, I see the numbers. Okay, cool. I'm like, in your case, okay, $68. Cool. I know why. Like,
Yeah.
what? That's
Yeah.
like crazy. So what are some of the other features that may be overlooked when someone is starting Greenbook, but you think are the game changers that they should really like, okay, yes, use that. And then we're also
Yeah.
going to open the floor to have some feedback. So whether you're watching live or you're watching this after and you're watching in the comments, or you're watching and then you're going to go ahead and drop some comments and the feedback on what he's about to share as far as like the features and yeah.
Yeah. Y'all, please do let me know if you want this because even though it's easy to build, like it takes a lot of mental to kind of build this stuff. Like, because you gotta. I'm not gonna go into the tech part of it, but you gotta think about how this should work in order for it to work. So I don't want to build something that people don't want.
Yeah.
So um, anyway, so a couple things that I want to do, right? And I'll probably just speed run it. One for people, let me say this: Plaid does not allow every bank account. Like for instance, back home in Maryland, there's a bank called M&T
Mhm.
Bank. It's That's not on Plaid just yet, right? So sometimes you do have to manually put in your transactions. So I'm planning to do a way to just scan your receipt, just take a photo of your receipt, and then put the transactions in there,
Yeah.
which is I think it's actually pretty easy to build. Anyway, so that what originally when I built Green Book, I wanted it to be kind of gamified, where there was a point system for categorizing transactions like that. It might not work so well because the fact that you like things are kind of being automated for you, like you won't really get that much points. But anyway, I wanted to do like a point system with a leaderboard where you can invite people into like a group of your friends, and you have like a goal, like okay, let's save up $500 this month,
Mm,
and you can
wow.
see like how everybody's like maybe you don't see how much money they actually put away, but you can see the points they're getting and stuff like that. So I wanted to do something like that. That was the original idea. Um, was like something that just make it fun. Um, Another idea, I think there's other stuff just in general that I would want to add in there, but I think I'm trying to be careful of how I'm building Green Book, because it might be more of a budgeting 101 type of app. But essentially, for me, for my wife and I, we invest, right? We have money in the stock market. We have money in our mutual funds as a setback account, stuff like that. Um, and these are just simple things just so our money can be working, right? Because dead
Yeah.
money is doesn't make you any money. So anyway, there's other stuff I want to add in there, like a way to like track your investments. It'd be crazy a way to invest. That's a whole different thing right there. But anyway, so yeah,
Yeah.
that's those are the small features that I want to add in there. So yeah, y'all, please give me your feedback. If you have an idea, share the idea, and if y'all see someone who has a good idea, like the comment under there, because then I'll look and I'll see, okay, everybody wants this,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
Um, so yeah,
I think we're also going to plug you at the end, but I think right here it'd be good to just plug the social medias at which they can reach out if they have a question, but also like of course they can
yeah,
drop them down here. But yeah.
yeah. So if you want to reach me, you can go to GB Budget, right? So it's GB Budget, I believe on all platforms. I know it's on Instagram, I know it's on TikTok. So GB Budget. And then if you want to reach me personally, which is okay, it's not no problem. It's gonna be my name, it's gonna be S Cooper Miller, right? SCOOPERMILLER. Send me a message, right? You can reach me there. And then if anybody signs up today and you need help, hit me up on the email, Stefan@greenbook.com. I'm my phone is literally on me all the time, which I think is on everybody. So
Yeah.
I will answer your message. I will get back to you. If you just need help setting up a budget, just in general, help you out. But
Perfect.
yeah, you can reach me
And
there.
honestly, I don't want to like sweep over that scoreboard idea that you had. That's like when you have an Apple Watch or like a fitness watch and your
Yeah,
friends are all doing that challenge together where you can
yeah,
like it shows you, hey, so and so completed all their rings and you're like, "Dang, I got to go to the gym now."
yeah,
Imagine you and your friends being like, "Oh, we have a goal to save $100," and you're watching them do that,
yeah,
and you're like,
yeah,
"Okay, well, I gotta stop going to Chick-fil-A." Like, I don't know. I feel like that's so amazing. That could, I mean, the whole point is to get the Black community to start doing these
yeah,
things that we just simply don't really do, that we don't have a lot of exposure to. So imagine your friend doing that, and that spreads to their friend group, and that spreads to that friend group. Like that could
right.
really change a lot really, really quickly. So I love that. Honestly, I would be doing that.
Listen, now
So
let me say, I think what's on my plate right now is that I'm going to build I have to let me say this, I gotta do some marketing stuff for Green Book in the back end. That's one thing. After that, I really don't have the other features that I plan to build currently because I feel like Green Book is at a version where I will use it myself.
Yeah,
But
it's so good
I may
already.
be working that. I may work on that in the background. I already kind of created the badges. I don't like the badges that I created though. They look cartoonish. They just look terrible. Anyway, um, I probably am gonna start doing that. That may be my next feature because once again, that was the very first idea
Yeah.
was to make it fun, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like the Duolingo of finance, but Duolingo got its
Ooh,
own little thing. Um,
cool. Yeah.
so that was kind of my idea. So we'll see. We'll
So
see.
if
So
you guys have
it'll work
any
out.
comments on how to like gamify it or what you would like and what would get you to
Yeah.
engage with it in like the more gamey type of way, make sure to drop that down below. I'm sure there's people with like thousands of ideas and um I mean the app is already amazing. Like the app is already
Yeah.
complete on its own. It's already whole on its own, but of
Yeah.
course we're going to take some extra feedback from everyone. So that's amazing. And then what if when somebody signs up, what do they expect in the first 10 minutes of like, okay, I'm gonna sign up, click the link. Now what is that? What does that look like?
Yeah. So I'm I wanted to make it something that was easy. Once again, I'm real big on just ease of use. Um, so once you sign up, you go through the onboarding. It walks you through like what is what, right? In that walkthrough, it has you connect your bank account. Connect it. Like that is literally the lifeblood of Green Book is the pledge, like connecting your account through pledge. Can you still use Green Book without it? Yes. But I really feel like, let me say this, you don't get that companionness without
Mm,
your accounts coming in. Because
yeah.
once again, the snapshots is linked to your transactions, and your transactions is linked to your bank account. Your bank account need to be connected to Plaid. So if you don't have that connected and you're manually adding in your stuff, you can do that. But your snapshot wouldn't really be a snapshot. It would still be a snapshot, but you would just automatically add everything in. So
Yeah.
add it, right? Add it, add that in. Um, so yeah, so you can walk through, you'll have that in there. And there's a checklist. So there's a checklist on how to onboard. A lot of stuff is going to be checked for you because the onboarding process has you do a part. A lot of stuff kind of already like walks you through it. So when you look at that checklist, some stuff will be checked, but it's going to ask you to make sure you have your connect. I don't know, your bank account connected. It's going to ask you to join the Discord. The Discord is, it's just a group for all of us to get together, but also for me to get feedback from you all and to know how I can better help you. Um, and then also you also have the ability to make money on there too. You have affiliate links. So everybody that sign up has affiliate link. You can share it with your friends, family. Um, I think it's a cool way to make money, like, helping people do something that's like, you know, like you're actually doing something. Like it's not like, oh, hey, pick a link to Shein for this. Like, you're actually
Like
helping
a
somebody.
shirt. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what to expect in the first 10 minutes.
Perfect. And then this is a separate question. You didn't hear this one yet,
Yeah.
but what is your favorite indulgent purchase lately? Like the one thing that you're like, hey, I actually really want to that's just gonna get bought. Like that's just what we're doing. And how did using Green Book actually make you feel like having like seeing that indulgent purchase in there?
So okay, let me say this. Just to give a preface, I am not a spender. Like I don't buy anything unless it's for my wife, right? It's just who I am. Like if it ain't making me money, I really don't want to spend money on it,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
So, however, um, I'm a I'm gonna be honest, and this is gonna be one of my guilty things here. Um, and I also might get hate because of who the CEO is, but I don't care because that man don't. But anyway, so hopefully you don't get hate when I say this. Anyway, I I really want to get a Tesla. I really want to get
Really?
a Tesla. Yeah, and hear me out. Hear me out. This is where the emotional thing comes in, and then you try to make the purchase with logic, right? Um, it's not new. It'll be used. It'll be under 20K. right? Or it'd be around 20K. My wife and I have a paid off car. It's a 20-year-old '05 Toyota Corolla with 230 miles. We about to have a
Wow,
baby.
230?
Oh yeah.
Oh
Let
my
me say this.
goodness.
We didn't drive it for that much. We brought it used already
Oh,
at like 200. Like
okay,
Toyotas have
perfect.
great engines. I swear they do.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, uh, I know where our budget is at, right? So that's kind of where it's like, okay, I can pay $300 in a car payment, right? I can do that. I can probably put down like a good like little down payment, whatever. But anyway, that is one of my guilty ones because mostly I don't
Nice.
buy anything.
I was like, "Oh, like Starbucks or like a nice dinner." No, a car. No, a whole car. And you know what? You can do that because you have Green Book and you have the tracking, so you know that you can do the down payment. But also, you don't really spend, so it's like either
I
nothing or a
don't.
car, nothing or a whole electric vehicle. I
Yeah,
love that. No, I'm
yeah,
actually
yeah.
that is
And I knew you probably wanted like something like McDonald's, stuff like that.
yeah,
Like
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 a
I
little
don't spend
French
money.
fry.
Right. I don't spend money like let me say this. When we have our daughter, like I'm gonna be a sucker. I swear I'm gonna be a
Oh my
sucker.
god.
She's gonna get over like I'm already a sucker for my wife, right? Like I said, I don't spend money on myself. Like for instance, I go to the gym and I want to start running. I don't want to buy running shoes.
Yeah.
I don't want to buy it. Like I don't want to spend the money. So the only way I would ever get that if I say something to my wife is she gets it because I,
Yeah.
I don't like anyway. I'm gonna be a sucker whenever my wife and I when we have our daughter in October. Like
It's gonna be 2x. 2x.
yeah,
All the stuff
yeah.
you love,
So
2x. No, that's perfect because you have Green Book, so it doesn't matter.
yeah,
It's like
yeah,
know
yeah,
you already know what's coming. And no, that's actually so funny. I was not expecting you to say a car. And also Teslas, I personally think Elon is a genius.
yeah.
Business,
Listen,
financially investing, like he is
yeah,
absolutely on a whole nother level. So I'm not mad at
yeah,
it, honestly. I don't
yeah.
have
Listen, I don't know why people mad. I don't let people listen. He doesn't affect my life. The person that's in control of my life is the Lord, and then after that, it's my wife. So like the car's a nice car. I don't care what people say. Like I done fixed up our '05 Toyota Corolla. I'm not a mechanic. I'm just someone who will learn how to do something.
yeah.
Our AC went out. I fixed our AC with a whole new AC compressor. Like I'm not getting too deep into it. It took a whole week. I fixed that stuff myself. I put money into
Wow.
that. I just want a car that I know how to fix up.
Yeah.
Like I don't like something that's gonna be reliable.
What color?
You we was thinking white on white, white interior.
Oh my
It'd
god.
be the first time ever getting white interior, but I heard that it's super easy to clean for that. So maybe white and white. If not white and white, I know we should want white interior just in general.
Yeah.
It looks better, but yeah, listen. For those who's looking for, like, it's a 2021. The tax credit is like 4 grand off of used cars,
Oh.
and it's about to go away within the year or probably like in 90 days. So it's like I'm taking advantage of it. Anyway, I
Yeah.
don't care. It's my shameful purchase. Um. So anyway, yeah,
No, when we see the
that's it.
Tesla on Instagram, we know the story
Yeah,
of it.
I'm gonna do all my recordings inside the Teslas. I'm gonna
No, that's
have
gonna
the
be
little
fire.
mover. Yeah.
Videos in the
So
Tesla.
yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
No, this was so fun. Honestly, the link is already sitting in my bio, so if you haven't clicked it already, you might wanna click that. Stop guessing about your finances. Get your finances in order. Be able to see where all the things are. See your transactions and not do it manually. You don't need sheets of paper
Yeah.
and spreadsheets and all those other things. You don't need those things to feel in control. And it when you use Greenbook, it gets easier. The only hard part is signing up and putting your information one time, and then it just gets easier. Like everything just is easier with it. So I really enjoyed this. This was really fun.
Yeah.
But I had one last question for anyone who is watching. What would you say to the person who's nervous to even look at their transactions? They're like, I'm thinking about my finances, and I'm the person, the ostrich with my head in the dirt right now, or in the sand, wherever they are geographically. I don't
Yeah.
know. But what would be the one thing you would say to that person that they can like take with them with for this video?
Um, I would say like if you're someone who you're scared, like let me say, as a man, it's probably easier for me to say, "Don't be scared, tough up," right? Calm down, right? But I would
That's so
say,
self-aware of you to say. Like that's so self-aware,
yeah,
honestly.
it's and let me say, I'm self-aware because of my wife. So
Mhm.
thank the Lord, because I realize like I think differently and she doesn't, and I have to like realize stuff on calm down. But I would say if you're scared, get in contact with somebody, right?
Mhm.
Talk to somebody. Like that's probably like the first thing. Like just see that it's okay. Because what you're scared of the outcome that you don't know yet, right? You're scared
Yeah.
of what's going to happen when you do look at it. So you're really trying to protect yourself from what possibly could happen. So look at people, find people on YouTube, like like us as examples, people
Exactly.
who have been in the hole. Like my head was in the hole, right? Um, and but once you see that it's going to be okay, right? It's literally gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Then you can be like, okay, to lift your head out the dirt, look at your transactions, right? Even if you don't use Green Book, just write down how much you make, how much you spend, what did that comes out to, right? Just
Yeah.
start somewhere. But I really do think the wisdom is in seeing that it's going to be okay. Just
Yeah.
talk to somebody, right? And maybe you might need therapy. Like that might be a thing just
Yeah.
for finances, right? Sometimes that fear might come from childhood trauma, like maybe from being poor, maybe from being in the streets like that. And I probably might be getting too deep into it. It's just that's what's popping up. But that might just be also the fear. Is
Yeah.
just that you might just need therapy, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Like
A lot
that's
of
okay.
people
But
don't. Yeah, a
yeah,
lot of people don't realize it actually does come from deeper things like that. So when they're hearing that, they're like, "Well, this video is not for me because I'm just supposed to be poor and whatever." But when you hear
yeah,
someone say like, "No, you might actually just need to talk to someone," maybe
yeah,
like that's an option. You can just explore the idea. That's actually really powerful for someone to hear, especially
yes,
if they got to the end of this video. They are willing to hear about budgeting in this way. They're going to do something when they hear that they can just take a little step farther and just take one step at a time towards what they want. So
yes.
as far as Green Book, 5 years, what is the overview that you're like, hey, I want this web app to look like this is the experience I want them to be to have. It doesn't have to be too specific, but just like, hey, I this is what I see for this thing, like while you're recording videos in the Tesla, and you're like, what are you seeing for Green Book?
um, let me say this. Anytime somebody asks me about my plans, I always gotta preface it with this, right? Proverbs 16:9 says, "The man plans his step, but God directs his path," right? So when I say all this stuff, it doesn't really matter because I don't know where I'm actually going to be at, right? But the plan is this. So what I really want, and I thank the Lord that this opportunity had popped up, right? And I'm waiting for the lady messaging me back. So if you watch Miss Heather, I'm here. Anyway, so for the nonprofit, right? The nonprofit is down here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. For those who don't know about Tulsa, Oklahoma, this is where Black Wall Street was at. This is where the riots happened, and a whole bunch of Black businesses and people died, right? So this organization is geared towards helping descendants of Greenwood or descendants of what happened. And she wants to buy years worth of the app for multiple people and for me to teach classes with budgeting 101, right?
Yeah.
But that made me like it just opened my mind up to essentially what's always been in my heart. So I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland, and Baltimore is such a tough place, right?
Mhm.
Like people do a lot of, and you know what, I should be careful how I say certain things on YouTube because you can get demonetized stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah, they're a
I
little
just thought about that. People do bad things, right? And I believe that people do these things because they don't know how to make money other ways. Um, you know, and what I really would like for 5 years from now is to be partnered up with nonprofits, or just have classes in my home city, in other places, teaching Black families how to budget, but not just budget, but also teaching Black families how to be entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
how to make money other ways, so they don't feel trapped to feel like they have to do the things they do now, because they don't know how to like they don't know I'm smart in this area, but this area gets me in trouble.
Yeah.
That same smartness and intelligence can be brought into the world of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think that's a lot to have to get done in 5 years, but I serve an amazing God, and it's all Him. It's not even me. So and it's all His will. So anyway, that would be amazing in 5 years. To
Yeah.
have it where it's educating people, families, and once again, this is made for the Black community, but it's not just for the Black community. Like anybody can use it. Like
Yeah.
the app doesn't know if you're Black or white,
Yeah.
Hispanic, Chinese. Like it don't stop. Oh, hey, I don't see no melanin in your skin. You can't. No, anybody can use it. The tools are there for anybody. It just, and to be honest, the reason why I chose Black people because when I'm Black, I know the experience. Um, and I needed I needed a niche. I needed a niche, right? I needed to kind of narrow down who I was speaking to. Um, so yeah, 5 years now, it'd be great to have programs to help families, right?
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Black families, but anybody can be educated.
Mm.
I feel like that right there can change generations if you can just like start with the kids on how to budget their money, it's like that.
Oh
Like it
my.
can change generations. Like anyway, I
No,
get
I
sentimental.
think the entire world is lucky to have you because
Mm,
for you to even think of that as like, hey, I want to do Green Book and not I want it to be the biggest company in the world. It's like I want people to change. I want to impact people. I want to impact
yeah,
families. I want families to be able to sit down and talk about money. That is just extremely inspiring.
yeah,
And I know you said it's like sounds like a big goal for 5 years, but you've been doing it for like a month and a half, and you've already done so much. You've already
yeah.
gotten
Praise the
DMs from
Lord.
non like what God
Yeah,
is literally like walking you through this entire process. And I love,
yeah.
first of all, I love that I like see it so early because a month I would
Oh,
have
this
never
is
guessed
early.
that. I would have
Yeah,
never guessed. I would have never guessed that because the way that
yeah.
you present yourself and you present the product and you reached out, I was like, oh, he's like been doing this for like it's
I got her.
insane that I'm learning so much about you as a
That's funny.
person, and it just makes me
Yeah,
want to use it more, talk about it more, share it more. And
yeah,
now you've made me a person who can help other people through
yeah.
Green Book.
Yeah, no, it's a blessing. Like that's why,
Amazing.
like I'm willing to give out 70% of profit for anything, right? Because like it's not about. Let me say this. Money is money. We all need it. It's literally
Yeah.
up there with air, right? At least in
Yeah,
America, it
literally.
is. It's up there with air. But the fact that I can have someone like you, who also is passionate about just handling money,
Yeah.
um, you know, let me say this. It's the way and hopefully when I say this, it don't come off wrong, but it's leverage, right? Like I can't reach as many people
Yeah.
as two people can reach, right? Or
Exactly.
three people, or four people, five people, right? If I would go out to try to conquer the world and get everybody to learn how to manage their money, I'm a fail. I'm a fail. I'm one person, right?
Yeah.
Um, so it's a blessing, right, to have someone who's like passionate about people. Because one, you got to be passionate about people
Have to.
to
Yeah.
yeah to make an account talking about finances and wanting to teach it. But yeah, no, it's a blessing. So thank you just for being who you are and having that focus to one even do a podcast. Like in the beginning of the podcast, it was just so like in the back room, so organized, right? I can tell that you are one is like a very organized person that cares, that's professional. Um, so yeah, just thank you,
Wow.
right? Just for who you are and what you're doing.
Thank you so much for being here. This was such a honestly, this is like 1,000 times more than I could have ever expected.
Yeah.
This I feel like I just became a whole new person in the past hour. So I'm gonna go conquer the road really quick over the
Yeah.
weekend because this just put a whole new motivation in me through just you being you and like building this app and you having that intention for that. And just, I mean, even you talking about your daughter and she's like, she has a few more months to like keep developing and you're like, hey, I'm doing all these
Yeah.
things for her already. Like that is just,
Yeah.
and that's just amazing. So this was so good. If you could plug your links, well, not links, the names to
Yeah.
your social medias again right
Yeah.
before we close out. This was been amazing, amazing.
Yeah. Well, if you want to connect with Green Book, the account is GB Budget, right? Which stands for Green Book Budget. On TikTok and Instagram. I don't know if it's on Facebook, to be honest. I don't want to lie. So you can find me there if you want to personally connect. Which once again, if you connect to Green Book, you connect to me. But my personal account is S Cooper Miller on Instagram, maybe TikTok. Let me say, I'm sorry if I'm just GB Budget, TikTok, and Instagram is going to get you connected to me. Um, so yeah, just follow me there. And for YouTube, it's S Cooper Miller for sure. I know that for sure. But other than that, yes, I would love to connect with y'all. I would love to get feedback. Like I'm really a person. Like let me say, I'm a people person. I'm a extrovert, introvert. Like I love staying in the house, but if I'm somewhere, I'm talking your head off. Um, so
I love
so so yeah. So talk to me, right? I'm sure like my wife would appreciate to have a break from hearing me just talk all day. If someone else can talk to me. So
I'm
yeah, yeah, you can find me there.
screaming. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh. Y'all go help his wife.
yeah,
I'm
because I
screaming. That is
don't.
so funny.
Yeah, because she about
No,
to get it when I come out here. I'm about to talk to her, and so she she's probably hiding right
I
now.
took you for the hour, so she's chilling.
Yeah, yeah, she got
She's
a break from
chilling.
me. She got a break from
Okay.
me.
I love that. No, this has been so amazing. It was so nice meeting. This is my first time meeting him. Well, second time talking because we talked before, but
Yeah,
it's my first time meeting in person. This has just been
yeah,
amazing. So thank you
yeah.
so much for taking out the
Thank
time. I
you.
know it's a holiday too, like taking out that hour to talk with me. This has been amazing. So I hope you have
Yeah.
a great weekend and you talk your head off some more about Green Book.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, thank you. And just a reminder, y'all, if y'all sign up, if it doesn't give you a 30-day free trial, send me a message
Yeah.
and I will make sure you have a 30-day free trial. And I'm gonna give you a little secret.
Ooh,
A lot of people don't use apps like the first 14 days. So if you don't use it the first 17, 14 days, just let me know and I'll just add additional time,
mm,
right? I want you to use it. It's not about making money. I want you to use it. I want you to get help from it.
yeah.
So yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I will see you guys in my next video. And once this video is put, because it is live, once it's posted, it will be in the live section of my channel. So it's not in the regular videos, it is in the live section. You just click there and you'll see us there. So
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you so much
All
and
right, you
have a
have a
great
blessed
rest
one.
of your day.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.